Well, I guess they're bad people. Bad people will do bad things.
Trump's tariff policies led to a bear market, or is it a recession? And Elon Musk is now going rogue. I'm Mediaite founding editor Colby Hall, and one of the juicier stories to emerge from Trump's Liberation Day, drama in his administration that's straight out of Real Housewives. Last week, Trump has announced massive tariffs around the world, and it hasn't gone over well.
The markets are down about 8% in just 2 days, and I'm getting all kinds of reaction from businesses, farmers in Wisconsin that are highly concerned about what's happening.
Even some of Trump's most loyal defenders, they're freaking out.
And it's Tariff City. Trump has put his tariffs all over the place. I've been trying to understand them. I don't.
Trump's reciprocal tariffs impose hundreds of billions of dollars in new taxes on Americans, be the largest tax increase since the Revenue Act of 1968. One of the biggest tax increases on American consumers in the history of America.
Tariffs are a tax on consumers, and I'm not a fan of jacking up taxes on American consumers.
And everything's in because of it.
But the craziest part of this story might be the really ugly insults being tossed back and forth between Peter Navarro and Elon Musk. Peter Navarro is Trump's senior counselor for trade and manufacturing, and for better or worse, he's largely credited or blamed for being the architect of this controversial tariff policy. He's been all over cable news defending this policy.
And in a national emergency where the trade deficit itself is the national emergency and security threat because it takes our factories, our jobs, and transfers wealth abroad.
That last clip was widely shared on social media, and Elon Musk, you know, the guy who's donated nearly $400 million to Trump political efforts? Well, he made clear that he didn't really care for that idea or Peter Navarro. Musk posted, quote, he didn't build which he later deleted, presumably under pressure from the White House to show some unity during a trying time. But just when you think the drama is settled, Navarro couldn't resist pushing back.
When it comes to tariffs and trade, we all understand in the White House, and the American people understand, that Elon's a car manufacturer. But he's not a car manufacturer, he's a car assembler.
Elon doesn't make cars, you say, he assembles them. Go on.
If you go to his Texas plant, a good part of the engines that he gets, which in the EV case is the batteries, come from Japan and come from China. The electronics come from Taiwan. The tires come. What we want, and the difference is in our thinking and Elon's on this, is that we want the tires made in Akron. We want the transmissions made in Indianapolis. We want the engines made in Flint and Saginaw, and we want the cars manufactured here.
Now that's a clear explanation of the thinking behind this new tariff strategy, and arguably makes some sense, provided you give manufacturers years to pivot to North American factories and really cheap labor force. In the meantime, however, people are watching their 401ks get a lot smaller. But it's also a shot at the world's richest man and one of Trump's closest advisors. And that's when the gloves came off. Elon Musk went on a social media bench designed to hit back at Peter Navarro and did so with junior high-level insults. Elon responded to the clip saying, quote, Navarro is truly a moron. What he says here is demonstrably false. He then followed with, quote, Tesla has the most American-made cars. Navarro is dumber than a sack of bricks. One more post read, quote, by any definition whatsoever, Tesla is the most vertically integrated auto manufacturer in America with the highest percentage of U.S. content. He added, quote, Navarro should ask the fake expert he invented, Ron Vara. Fake expert? Let's turn to the views Anna Navarro, no relation, for her thoughtful explainer.
This Peter Navarro wrote this book that I guess so much of this is based on, called Death on China or Death by China. He invented this character, this expert advisor inside that he quotes constantly in this book.
Person?
It's a fake person based on an anagram of his last name, which unfortunately is my same last name.
Oh,
he's got a guy named Ron Navarro that he's quoted in like 10 books since 2001.
Thank you, Anna. Finally, the last insult was, quote, Peter Retardo. Ladies and gentlemen, Elon Musk. Oh, but wait, there's more. When asked about this insult, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt reportedly responded by saying, quote, whatever, before some predictable verbiage about White House transparency and blah, blah, blah. It came up again during the press briefing.
There's been some public sparring between Elon Musk and the president's trade advisor, Peter Navarro, on some of these tariffs. Musk actually referred to Navarro today as being, quote, dumber than a sack of bricks. Are you at all, or is the administration, the president, at all concerned that this is maybe impacting the public's understanding of these tariffs? It might be messing with the message on it.
Good question. What do you got, Caroline?
Look, these are obviously two individuals who have very different views on trade and on tariffs. Boys will be boys, and we will let their public sparring continue.
Boys will be boys? Huh. To be clear, this is in reference to the world's richest man calling a close Trump advisor, quote, Peter Retardo. Now, if a junior high kid got caught saying that in school, they'd get in big trouble, maybe even suspended. But I guess when you're the world's richest man, you can get away with it. This reminds me of another story. Where have I heard something they can get away with what?
And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything. Whatever you want.
So the corollary to when you're a star, you can get away with anything is if you're in the Trump cabinet, you can get away with anything. Boys will be boys. Look, using the R word is offensive to many people, but that's not really the story here. The story is the tension that's developing within the cabinet over a real controversial tariff policy that has caused $5 trillion in wealth to just evaporate. Maybe it's part of a negotiation tactic. Maybe it's just a bad mistake. Nonetheless, something tells me that the drama brewing between Peter Navarro and Elon Musk is only beginning. Please click the like and subscribe button for more videos like this. I'm Mediaite founding editor Colby Hall. Thank you for watching.